We grow more varieties of lettuce than anything else at Wild Garden Seed, so I decided to make it the first of my seed cleaning tutorials. For those of you with short attention spans, the essentials are all right here. This variety is Flashy Lightning, one of the many that we offer at Wild Garden Seed. For the rest of you, I'll go through the process in a bit more detail. This lot has already been threshed, field screened and winnowed and dried and stored in a bin until it's time to clean it. And we'll start with a rough winnow at 12 inches on low speed with the Winnow Wizard. So the trick to setting up the Winnow Wizard is to set the width of this slot, the feed slot here, for what you're trying to do, and then match the feed rate from the hopper for that. So this is lettuce. It's a Wild Garden Seed Flashy Lightning. And what we're doing now is doing a preliminary winnow, just getting the residual dust out, dust and leaves that did not come out in the field. And so I'm feeding it quite fast. The slot's pretty wide. And if you come down and look at the divide, it's a little bit difficult to see, but the splitter is set at 12, which is pretty conservative. I'm not losing any seed, and everything that's blowing out is little bits of leaves and small chaff and some sticks. And this will just make it easier to pass through the screen in the next step of cleaning here. I've got the agitator running. The agitator allows dirtier, stickier, leafier seed to run through the wizard, so you can use it for rough cleaning as well as fine cleaning. It wouldn't be hard to do this initial winnowing step by hand like I was showing in the winnowing video, but this allows you to step away and do other things, so it increases overall efficiency. As a flat seed, lettuce will fit through a very small slot, 1/26 of an inch to be precise. We saved a lot of time once we added this screen to our collection, but if you don't have a 1/26 slot, most lettuce will pass slowly through a window screen, which is 1/16 of an inch. It's another screen that you could use. You can also use 1/8 inch screen, although that won't get it as clean. We usually bottom screen lettuce in order to get out small heavy bits of dirt and balls of dried latex that don't winnow out. We use a 1/17 of an inch or 1/18 of an inch round hole screen and rescreen what goes through, as the smaller seed is generally still good. If you don't need maximum purity, you can probably skip this step. Fine winnowing flat seeds presents a bit of a challenge. While spheres like brassicas fall in a uniform narrow curtain, flat seeds spread out in the wind, as those falling flat side on are deflected more than those falling edge on. The solution to this is to take advantage of probabilities. If we set the divider so that half of the good seed falls in front, then we can rerun the light fraction to recapture an additional quarter. A half of that will stay in front, and then rerun it again for an 1/8 and a 1/16, and etc. Repeating this 7 times captures over 99% of the good seed, and it doesn't add that much time since each successive run has half as much seed. And if all of the light seed or all of the sticks always winnow beyond the divider point, then you can get by with setting the divider closer in than you could if you needed to capture all of the seed in one run. It's usually possible to capture more than 50% of the good seed while still excluding the sticks and the chaff. With lettuce, we usually aim for a divide in the range of 60-40 to 80-20. That would be 80% staying in front and 20% falling behind. The exact divider settings will change a bit with each lot, as seed size and shape actually vary between lettuce varieties. With this lot, I started with a run at 7 inches, which captured about 75% of the seed in front with almost no contaminants. This is Flashy Lightning lettuce that has been through the magic screen, been through the 1/26 herringbone slot, and it's running through the final winnowing process. The feed is a lot slower, and this slot is down to 3/16 of an inch, 3 magnets. And the divide here is set at about 75-25 split. So 75% of the seed is staying in front. And 25% is falling behind. Then I set the divider to 10.5 inches and winnowed out the remaining chaff and very light seed. This is pass 2. We're taking the light fraction from the last winnow. The heavy fraction is essentially done, and blowing out the lightest seed and majority of the little tiny flower buds and leaves and sticks. And so what falls on the left there, which is less than 0.5% of the original seed volume, is maybe 1%, is going to be thrown away, and then what falls on the right will get reprocessed, re-winnowed a few times here to remove most of the sticks. With most of the chaff removed, I set the divider back to 7 inches and re-ran the remaining seed and then combined what stayed in front with the previous run. So now we're up to about 90% of the seed. The remaining 10% or so of the seed is often truly a bit lighter, so it's necessary to move the divider back a little to recapture it. Typically low germination is not a problem with lettuce, so we try to throw away as little seed as possible. In this case, I set the divider to 7.5 inches and poured the light fraction back through 4 times, combining the heavies as lot B and throwing away the remaining light fraction, which at this point was 1/4 pound or around 1% of the total seed weight, and was composed mainly of immature greenish seeds along with sticks and chaff. This seems like a lot of steps, but each run takes less than a minute toward the end, so it actually goes pretty fast. In this case, I ended up with 21 pounds of lot A, 1 pound of lot B, and 1/4 pound of trash, and this is what they look like all together. Usually lot A is clean enough to need no further steps, although sometimes we do a little bit of polishing. And then we clean up lot B before combining it back in. We use usually 2 different screens for polishing lettuce. One is a 6x24 wire slot, that's 6 wires per inch in one direction and 24 per inch in the other. And that is slow. The seed goes through slowly, but it removes tiny balls, flower buds, and little dirt clods. And then we'll also use a 5.5/64 round screen, which the seed will fall through, but most of the sticks will stay on top of. If that seems like a lot of steps, remember that we're a lot more particular about seed cleaning than any home seed saver would need to be. If it sounds intimidating, rest assured that you can get 95% clean lettuce seed with a window screen and a gentle breeze.